Hello. I need a break. Finally. Finally, after many years of working really hard, my system is telling me to slow down. To really, really slow down. And that's the reason why you may have noticed that I cancelled a bunch of events. And yeah, there's just a few more events coming up with me this year. And I've also decided to not take on any personal clients anymore, no more private clients until the end of the year. A few more sessions that I already planned, but no more. Yeah, you all may know that feeling, when you notice you're touching upon your own boundary. When there's so much going on in your life that there's this edge of like, okay, if I push myself now, it's not going to help me. And I've been walking on that edge for years now. 3 years ago, a bit more than 3 years ago, me and the father of my children separated, and I suddenly had no home, no money. I had to sell 2 of my horses, and I lost them because the people I sold them to didn't keep their promise, and I don't know where they are now. And they lived with me for 14 years, the mother and the daughter for 8 years, and I haven't seen them for 3 years now. And then soon after, my other horse died, and that was the start of a long, intense time. And it was a rough time, but also very beautiful. I just jumped in, being a businesswoman, kick started, or like kick grew. Like I created fourfold the income I had in 3 months, and it's been growing ever since. It's been amazing. Cuddle workshops, people didn't know them, and now they are known all over the world, basically. My voice gets heard by so many, up to speaking for TEDx, last week. And, all this stuff that I've been bringing to the conscious community, and now I'm working on bringing it back to the normal world, to schools, to the corporate world. And right now I need a break. I feel there is... I can balance everything, also taking care of 3 young kids, which is very demanding. They're 1 week with me, 1 week with their father. And when they're with me, I spend 3 hours per day in a car, bringing them to school, picking them up, cooking for them. It's intense, but it's also beautiful. I love it. Like they have 1 week off, gives me the opportunity to travel, to go to places, and to work, and make sure everything works. And yeah, lately it's been quite intense. Some people know about my processes. There have been quite a few moments of really opening my heart, and then feeling how there is something happening that brings sadness or anger or a feeling of abandonment. Oh, thank you, Kermit. Thank you for your hearts and love. Yes, thank you. Yeah, there have been quite a few moments that were really hard. Like I have had one relationship since the relationship with the father of my kids, and it ended not on a good note. And there was, breaking of agreements. There was a lot of sadness around Daimi. And yeah, last month, there was a horse coming into my life, and then she disappeared. There were other moments where I felt so hurt and abandoned. And yeah, there were people, there were some really serious things happening around me that really impacted me up till recently. And I'm going through big lessons around setting boundaries. I've started to notice how I still let people just walk into my garden, walking into my sacred me-ness. Into my sacred temple or my sacred surroundings without respecting me. And, I let that happen many times. And also bigger processes I'm learning around projections, where people project onto me things that do not feel like my truth, and that sometimes I understand when people project, but also sometimes I don't. And it's such deep lessons around, okay, where is this feedback that I can take and can learn and improve through? And where is this someone, just dropping their shit onto me? And that's been happening quite a bit. And that is really teaching me about, it's like we are, like if you imagine yourself as a garden, a beautiful garden, and we do all these personal processes so that this garden gets more and more beautiful, that the flowers grow, that we bring them good soil, good nutrients, so that we can flower. And I guess it's also important to have a fence around that garden so that people just don't come in and trample the flowers. And these are such lessons to actually understand for myself, that it's okay to have a fence around the garden, and it's okay to have guards at the fence who say like, hey, who are you? Are you gonna, help the flowers grow, or are you gonna trample them? And if you're gonna trample them, then please don't come in. And those are such powerful lessons, so powerful. And I'm learning more and more to see when people talk to me, or, reflect at me, to see or say things, when I start to feel more and more like, okay, this is something I can work with. Or like being Teflon, being like, no, wait, this is actually yours. This is not mine, this is yours. It's a rough one. it's a damn intense process to learn that bit, and to really increase my boundaries. And tell people like, hey, I'm willing to talk, but not in this way. This is not how I let you communicate with me or talk to me. And that's for someone like me who has lived with a massive fear of abandonment and massive fear of not being liked by others for many, many years. That is a tough process to actually see like, no, this is not it. Yeah, so that happened a lot. Yes, that happened a lot. Also with people, interested in me, interested in getting to know me, but are they interested in me, or are they interested in the projection of me? And if it's the projection of me, can I tell them like, hey, this is not me. I'm not available for this. I'm not available. So yeah, all that has been happening a lot lately. And there's this huge shift inside. I can feel it. It's like growing up. One of my friends, she saw me again, and she's, oh, thank you, Corinne, thank you, I love you too. Yeah, you have been the person who's known me longest of everyone, for 11 months more than I'm on this earth. Yeah, thank you, so good that you're here. Yeah, so, it feels like, yeah, she said, this friend of mine, she said, she hadn't seen me for 2 weeks, she looked at me in the eyes and she said, whoa, you look so much more mature than you did a few weeks ago. And that's what it feels like. It's this big maturing process. And, thank you, Mero. Thank you. Yes. Yes, to uproot and move the entire garden. Oh, wow. Yes. And I think, yes, even then, you might want to build a fence so that people who come in, I see it like we all have these different levels of intimacy around us. Like we've got different circles in our personal field or aura. And some people come closer, and some people we can ask them to stay further away. We don't have to let everyone, close. I think it's okay if people need to deserve to come close, because close, it's an honorary place. And, we can move people again as well, like if they're very close, but we want them a little bit, in a different circle of intimacy, so a little bit further away. I think we got all the right to do that, to let people in closer and to ask them to take a bit more space, without necessarily rejecting or hurting them, but to, navigate how close we want people. And I think it's a great thing to have fences around our gardens, especially our inner circles. Like, yeah, it's okay to say no to people if they don't respect who you are. And it's not about, sending people away or being unfriendly or anything. It's all about self-care. Yes, Hannah, yes, absolutely. It's all about self-care and self-love and letting people close who honor the garden. And in the same way, the same way from us to others. If others let us in close, let's honor their garden. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like going into a womb space again. It's like I have such a strong desire to just read books and sit on a couch with my kids, with my cat. I got such great books. I love books around me, and they come in faster than that I can read them. So it feels very much like I want to read. I feel like diving into some medicine work again. I'm very much looking forward to spend some time in the UK in November, a few days somewhere in a quiet place. And then after the play party that me and Shani Love will do, I'll be back in the Netherlands joining a pelvic heart immersion, also as a participant. So I really, because I feel like, in this transition space, there's also still ancestral stuff. There's still stuff in my body. It feels like I'm carrying other people's stuff. It feels like, there is this big alchemy process is happening, and I'm just, just diving in. Even though it has been like a months and months of preparation, like now I'm really in, in the dark night of the soul of this one. And so up till the end of the year, I'm going to take it slower, and we'll see what happens in January if I'm going to up the amount of workshops again. So there's just a few more workshops with me this year. November 1 is almost sold out, and then the weekend in December with Reet Mahalker. That's basically, if you want to see me in a workshop space, that's where to go for this year, and otherwise it will be next year. Yeah, thank you, Frank, for seeing me validating myself. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so also I'm not going to push myself to be online. I just, because I've been working hard also on being online present. I'm gonna drop the pressure and just be online when I want to be online. So maybe that means that I will write a lot more in the next months, and it might mean that I'm less present on Facebook and Instagram. I have no idea. I just know that I really need to slow down, spend time in nature, spend time with horses, spend some time around other people, but also mainly have lots of time alone. And see what comes. And maybe that means I want to write a lot, because I miss my writing. I am as much a writer and an introvert as I am a facilitator and an extrovert. And I've been putting the emphasis a lot on my extrovert side, showing up, going outside. I still have a whole book I want to edit that I already wrote. I want to write more books. I want to write more articles, because I love writing so much. I hope that I can create more time for that as well in the next months, and who knows, maybe I want to share, maybe I don't, maybe whole new ideas will pop up. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, thank you all. I just wanted to share this all with you, because you are my tribe, and I've got so much love for you all, and it feels good to share also these parts of myself with you, because this is also who I am. Yeah. So no advice needed. Just loving support is nice, but it's even not needed. If you want to send me something, that's fine. And my birthday's coming up too, December 7th next month. So I love nice wishes and gifts too. If you want to send me gifts, do it. Let me know. I'll send you my address. Just kidding. But yeah, that's where I am now. I'm gonna go into my womb space. I don't know. Maybe it's also just autumn. That's part of it as well. But yeah, I'm gonna take a bit of a break for the first time in my life. Basically, I don't think I ever did this. I was always way more, always traveling. When I was studying, I was half of my time traveling the world, connecting forestry faculties, connecting students with professionals. I'd done so much, and right after that I got my kids. I was working with my kids and in different companies, and now I'm still doing all that. So I never really took a break, besides, being ill here and there for a day. But other than that, I never took a break. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Yeah, so I might see you around at one of the very few workshops that I'm hosting. and maybe elsewhere, maybe under the trees in the forest. And I'm good. Like, don't get worried about me. My mental health is good. I'm good. I'm just so tired. Like, I sleep long nights, and an hour after waking up, I'm super tired again. I feel shaky. I feel it's like there were some things last weeks that really felt traumatizing, and I just feel that in my system a lot. But I'm good. In the midst of it all, I'm good. So don't get worried. I still love life more than anything, and I'm still super passionate about bringing all this stuff to the world. So just try to stop me. So on that note, I'll leave you here now, and let's see how the next months will unfold. So much love for you all. Thank you so much for being my tribe, my chosen family. I'm a super grateful human being.